Okay, the PZ.III, I wanted to address a video Droodles did on it. First to say, I thought his video was hysterical and I really enjoyed it, and it was done in good humour, so I'm not slagging him off in the slightest. I own one. I owned it from back in the day. It's had a penetration buff. It used to be a freaking nightmare to penetrate anything in it, and if you used a lot of Pramo, then oh my god, it could cost you 140k a game. Just something ridiculous just to get a result. On the flip side of it, it was pretty much impenetrable. Now what seems to have happened to me anyway, and people might disagree on the stats, is the pen's definitely better, no doubt, but I actually think the armour profile is, I don't know, it's either less good or things have come along that are more likely to pen it. So I played it a few games and I wanted to show you the reality of it. So the first point to note is it is not a Keniotsu, it is not a seal clubbing tank like the PZ.B2 which gets preferential matchmaker. It isn't those things at all. And in fact, the first game I'm going to show you is a tier 4 game where I'm lower tier, and as I'm fond of saying, I'm often lower tier anyway. I'm going to just watch me get wrecked. Just watch me get wrecked in it. There's okay, the team aren't great. I'm bottom tier. They've gone round the right hand side of that hill there. All our heavies are going to get wrecked. We've got 2 PZDs with the noob gun. That's never a good sign. And worse than that, we've got a PZ.38 NA. Who knows what he's doing? And here I am in my tier 3 tank. I can't really push right into their heavies because they're going to wreck me. And I can't deal with this kid either. And by the way, there's an M7 playing sort of almost way too well in a almost tier 10 position behind me. So in the end, I'm going to have to push this PZ.38 NA. But he's too good, and the M7 gets me, and I get wrecked. And I've done 46 damage. That's right, 46. And you know, if you're driving this tank to stat pad, you're going to be disappointed. It certainly won't stat pad your damage. It certainly won't stat pad your win rate. I played it 30 games just to be really sure. My win rate was 60.01%, something like that. My win rate at tier 3, if I choose to play it, I can promise you is much higher than that. It's up in the 70s. So it's not a stat padding tank. It's also not a seal clubbing tank. This said, when you get like the perfect game in it, well, yeah, it is OP. So this is the perfect game in the tank. Now, of the 30 games that I played, I aced it 3 times, and I think I got 6 firsts. So I guess from that point of view, if you got a mission which is like, all right, get a class 2 mastery or higher, get in the PZ.III, because even if you don't play it that great, I think there's not many of them in the game. So statistically, you know, you're going to get an ace or a first or a second or whatever quite easily. So the second game's, you know, the one I could have shown first, or I could have showed you the other 2 ace games that I did in it and gone, this tank's OP, blah, 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 blah. But I haven't done that. I wanted you to see the reality of the tank. This is not really the reality of the tank. This is just a ridiculous game where the matchmaking falls right. And yes, looking at the opposition, you know, I'm in a very, very OP, strong tank in this circumstance. Certainly not if I'm in a tier 4 game, and certainly not, believe it or not, if I'm playing people who know what they are doing, and there seem to be plenty at these tiers these days, who are spamming Pramo. You are going to be screwed. So, you know, as I'm fond of saying, meet a PZ.B2 M7 seal clubbing platoon, you're screwed, baby. Meet, you know, players of this kind of caliber, with all respect, who are learning the game. I haven't seen one of these tanks before because it's a pretty rare beast, and you know, haven't found the Pramo button. Then yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. And I showed this game because you've got things like the 14 TP, and the 14 TP, I don't think can pen it. I've been penned by cruisers and Stewarts and all sorts of stuff, but when you seem to get these 14 TPs, they don't seem to have a hope in hell of doing anything with you. And all I'm going to do is just kind of push into these guys, and it's kind of I feel sorry for them. They're just sort of huddled here. And there's nothing they can do with me. And it's not like my own team have pushed. They're all just sat there. So I figure I'd just go and deal with them. And it's almost a sad sight when you sort of come around a corner like this. And they can't do anything to you. It's a bit silly. And with the pen buff on the gun, you can pen them. It used to be that it was almost balanced out by the fact that they couldn't pen you, you couldn't pen them, and you could just sit there and get steel walls and stuff, but not really do a lot of damage. With the pen buff, yeah, you can do this to AMXs and all of that. So it's a bit silly, but I just wanted to correct Droodles on this. If he plays 30 games in it without an OP platoon mate, I would doubt, he'll do better than me, don't get me wrong, he's a great player, but I would doubt that it's as OP as he's saying, because it just isn't, if you follow my reasoning. So I want to put that out there before all the controversy sparks off about tier 3 seal clubbers in these tanks. It's not a seal clubbing tank. The PZ.B2 is a seal clubbing tank with preferential matchmaker. This is not. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you, bye.